You're in for a treat. Today, I'm going to show you how to build your own Berkey. These are Berkeys. And Berkeys are stainless steel gravity-fed water filters. Now, they're quite, they're a little expensive. You know, a couple few, 3, 4, 500 bucks even for some of the larger ones. And the filter elements are half the price alone. So if you're buying like a 2-pack and you know you get the fluoride filters with them, it can be a little over a couple $100 for the Berkey filters. But you can get, you know, say you just get one of them. These right here are Pure filters. So Pure is a lot like the Berkey. That's what this one is actually. It's pretty much the same thing, just the filter elements are a little different. So I'm going to be making my own using 5-gallon buckets now. So I have these 4 here, I have this one here, and I have a ton of extra filter elements because I've been stocking up on them. So I come with the idea now that I'm not going to be buying any more of the units. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make my own from here on forward. And I'm going to probably put together like maybe 5 or 6 sets and have them as backups, and just in case, you know, SHTF perhaps, and I need to help out my family, I will have care packages to provide so that things aren't as rough, since, you know, water is the most critical. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drilling, this is a bucket, 5-gallon food grade bucket, and I'm going to drill a couple holes into the bottom, and that will allow my filter element to slide up and through. So these are a couple older ones. You know, these things can be reused and reused as long as they're kept clean to some degree. At some level, I'm sure it would clog up completely, but they're not there yet, so I'm going to reuse those and get the most out of them. Also, you'll need a spigot. So I ordered a couple more. I got this one here that's extra. So these are the spigots that, you know, you would have on your Berkey. So this is just generic that I ordered offline of Amazon. There's like 10 bucks for a single one. Get a 2-pack for around 20. And this will come with the washers, the rubber washers, which will keep the seal and prevent water from leaking. And you'll need your nuts here, you know, for your filters, and then the little rubber washer that goes on the bottom of it. And you'll have to figure out whatever size that is. I don't actually know what size that is, but I have the drill bit. This is actually a long drill bit, but this will work. It's the same size, and it'll match that hole. So when I go to drill, it will be the right size for those filters to slip in. And the idea here is going to be 2 buckets. So use 2 buckets, 1 bucket on the bottom to capture the water and have the spigot attached to. So I'll take this bucket here and I'll show you pretty much how I'm going to set this up. So there'll be 2 lids involved as well. I'm going to have it, say, like this here will be the bottom chamber. It will have the spigot in it at the bottom, just as the filters, the stainless steel filters would. And then this piece will sit on top, and it will actually sit on top of the lid. So I'll have to drill a hole through this, couple holes through this lid to match up with the holes that I put in this bucket where the filter elements are going to slip through. So that way this has something to sit on, because it wouldn't be able to just hover above the other bucket without the lid. So it's got to have a lid, and then another bucket, and then this bucket's going to have a lid as well to cap it off. And it's pretty much as simple as that. So then it's going to act as if it was a double chamber Berkey filtration system, and it's actually, well, it's large, and it's affordable, and it's just as good. So we're going to get started putting that together, and I'll let you check out the assembly, and then we'll review it when I'm done. you'll need a spigot. So this spigot I bought, I went ahead and got on Amazon, and that was like 10 bucks. So it came with a little hardware too. You can get a double 2-pack for like 20 bucks if you want to make a couple of them. I mean, aside from that, that's, you know, like 10 bucks there, 8 bucks here. That's like $18. Then, you know, your filter elements are going to be what cost you the most. So maybe, you know, 80, 100 bucks if you just get one or two decent sized elements without spending an insane amount on the actual Berkey elements, which are a little more than the Pro Pure. But you can just get the Pro Pure elements, which are a little bit cheaper. So the Berkey elements will have option to also buy a fluoride filter, which is a separate filter that goes on the underside of the Berkey and attaches to the filter on the top. So it sits as a separate piece underneath this top chamber. And a lot of people don't really even know that that's another filter attachment for your Berkey. They just think that, you know, they get the one black element and done. But no, the second one is actually, it's called a Pf2 filter, and it further reduces arsenic and fluoride and probably some other things too. So I go ahead and I add those to just a couple of my water filters here. They're not in every one of them, but it's on this one and it's also on this one. And those are the ones that I actually drink from. So I'll drink this water and also this water, and I give this water to my dogs because it's better filtered with that second filter. These other ones, you know, go to the animals, this water, which is still filtered water. I just trust the one with the second filter also even more. Alright, now we're going to take this lid. This is the drop it all over the place lid. This is the bottom bucket's lid. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here to make the holes. And this will give me, this will let me match it up real nicely. So I set it on the bottom of the top bucket, upside down and all. And I'll go ahead and just drill straight through. And approximately we'll offset it just slightly so that we can fit 2 filters in here. And I'm going to drill straight through the lid and the bottom of the bucket so that I can match the holes up, you know, perfect. And 2. So that will be my top chamber and the bottom support lid. So that'll support the bucket and clean this up a little bit in here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the filter element on. I'm going to go ahead and attach it in between these holes here, and it'll be set up for me to use this as the top chamber. This is my first time doing this, so I'm learning along with you. I'm going to go ahead and put these filters in through here and attach it now and see how it sits on top of this lid to then filter through. It's a tight fit. I'm going to hollow these holes out just a little more so it slides in a little nicer. But that's a good fit for the top chamber. It's real tight. There we go. So we got the rubber gasket on there. Make sure your gasket's on to get a seal. And go ahead and slide this through. Second one in. So I'm kind of screwing them in because the hole in the bucket is just big enough, which is good because it's real tight. And that's a good squeeze. It'll keep a good seal. Those are in place. I'll go ahead. Nuts on the bottom. Find the other one. Here it is. Yeah, so now that's tight. Those are in. Feels like it will be a good seal. Now, the top chamber should slide right in to those holes. Which it does. actually sits really nice. Check that out, huh? That's the lid, huh? Now I'll go ahead and I'll put the spigot in down there on the second bucket. So I'll need to drill for that. And you don't want it to hang lower than the bucket. So I'm trying to get a rough idea here. And draw it with a marker maybe. Now, something like that is fine. You have to hollow that out a little bit. This spigot diameter is a little bit wider than my drill bit, so bear with me. Yeah. Love it when a plan comes together. Alright. Now, rubber washers. Go ahead and set this up properly. Now I'll get my wrench and I'll tighten that down. Looks straight, looks copacetic. Give it another little snug here. Yeah, perfect. Well, that's pretty much it. And there it is. Bottom chamber. Rinse it out a little bit, get that dust out of there. I'm not going to snap the lid on. I'm just going to leave it so it just rests on there, and that will be enough. You can just pull it right off if you need to. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill it up and check it out in action. Make sure everything works good. Top lid. So we'll let that fill up for a minute. And essentially, you have yourself a Berkey filter for a fraction of the price. And arguably, this is maybe even better because it's more versatile. Obviously, it's less expensive. It's large capacity, big old 5 gallons, whereas some of these are only 2.5 gallons, 3-4 gallons. I think this one here is maybe a 4.5, whereas that's 5 gallons. So really, this could be a much better option for you to go ahead and build your own.